the expenses are so many.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So how are things there? Have you traveled, or did you
No,
go?
I didn't travel. It's my family that traveled. I stayed in Nairobi.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't travel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, welcome back. So let's just use a couple few minutes, because I know people are busy. We have to do some other things. Maybe let's just get into it. So yeah, let's talk about the Premier League. Game week number 15. With me, I have a new panelist. Of course, you guys don't know each other. We have George joining us. George, you can introduce yourself to Gilbert, and maybe Gilbert can do the same to George.
Gilbert, how are you? I don't know where you are from. My name is George. It's a morning here. How are you? My name is George Ogoy. We are friends and in the same hobby in terms of football, soccer. And I like soccer so much. I was a footballer, and still I am, because I normally do it for health reasons, because it makes you run. That thing is very good. So yeah, I'm proud to be here, and we are good friends.
Yeah, my name is Gilbert. Thanks for meeting you, George. Robbie is my friend. We've been in college in Kenyatta University, and we've remained being friends because we share the same passion for football. And that's why I'm here to support him in this channel, and to educate and to have fun while we enjoy the sport that we all love. I also play football for health reasons, but I chose the wrong people to play against. I was playing with some young guys, and they hurt my knee in February. So up to now, my the
Sorry.
young boys, yeah. So up to now, my knee hasn't healed well. So I hope to be back soon on the
Okay.
It will
pitch.
always heal. A footballer is
Yeah,
always a footballer. It will heal and you'll go back still.
yeah.
Thank you. Nice
Yeah,
meeting
Yeah.
you.
thank you guys. So let's just get into it. And to start us off, of course, now the Premier League is up and running. 15 games into the season, and the table says a lot. The table says a lot. Liverpool still the league leaders, and I don't need to talk about Arsenal, because there's been a lot of wrong talk about Arsenal. For the past 8 weeks, it has not been uh, it has not been uh, a good spell for Arsenal. Arsenal supporters, Mikel Arteta, and even the board, I know they at Arsenal, they have been so uncomfortable. And so, looking at the last game they played yesterday against Chelsea, of course, Arsenal winning 3-1. What do you guys make out of that game? Is that one-off, or is that something that can, Arsenal can build on for the future and maybe make some statement?
Personally, I don't think it's a one-off. I think the last time we no, I didn't talk to you about, but I talked to an Arsenal fan where we work,
Mhm.
and the point I raised to him was that when Arsenal is playing in the Europa League, they seem to be getting the results, but when they come to the Premier League, they don't get the results. And my argument was there are some youngsters that Arteta usually starts in the Europa League campaign who are more hungry to succeed, who are more hungry to prove a point,
Mhm.
who are more hungry to deliver on the pitch.
Mhm.
And the guy told me that the Europa League and Premier League are two different animals in terms of the quality of the opposition.
Mhm.
But yesterday, Arteta took a risk with the youngsters. Saka had a 9/10 game yesterday. He was all over the pitch, chasing down tackles, running into space all the time. He delivered so well. I remember when the lineup came out, most people are surprised that Aubameyang didn't start, and it was a masterstroke from Arteta. So I think what he needs to do is he needs to reward those who fight for him on the pitch. And it's the youngsters. Saka needs to be starting regularly. Martinelli needs to be starting regularly. It doesn't matter what the hierarchy says, because if you bench some high earners like Aubameyang, I know there will be mamas here and there, but at the end of the day, you want delivery on the pitch. So that's the direction that Arteta should be taking in trusting these youngsters from time to time to deliver him or to build on the Arsenal project that he wants to undertake. So if he continues with these youngsters, especially Saka, you'll see a very big difference, because Saka is generational talent. Okay. He's so good. So the ball is in his court at the moment, because the old guard are not delivering. Aubameyang, since he signed the contract, the last goal he scored, I think, was against Man United. It was a penalty. Up to now, he hasn't scored any goal.
So he scored one goal from open play, at least for the very first. So now he has 3 goals.
Yeah. So you tend to wonder, was his performances before the contract, was he playing to sign a contract, or was he playing to deliver? Or it baffles a lot of people how his performances have dipped. So you tend to wonder, is it the setup that the coach has put in play, or is it the personnel that are on the pitch? But from yesterday, I saw the youngsters delivered so well. So it's up to Arteta to know how he structures his team going forward. Yeah.
George, what are your thoughts?
I think my opinion is a bit in a way that I think Arsenal yesterday's approach, the way they approached the game was so different, and was a bit of a surprise. And why Arsenal won the game yesterday is because Leicester came knowing that because Chelsea. Arsenal are wounded people. They are wounded because they've been losing matches. From before. They know that it could be going to be an obvious win. And because Arsenal came out as underdogs, my friend, they played, they saw that now here, there's nothing we are going to lose, because let's play what we know and what we need to play. So I think when the players try to play as they know, fortunately, when they scored the first goal, you see, that one motivated them. And if you can see, the tempo of the game was that they were hungry for another goal. Whichever way, either it comes through a penalty, whichever way, they score the second goal. Now that one made them more comfortable, knowing that now they need to score more. If you watch that game, I think it's because of a few issues. Arsenal could have won by a big margin. Now, coming to why Arsenal is losing a game, is losing matches. I think if you watch what former coach Wenger used to do to the team, Wenger used to actually give to an individual player what we call you empower somebody to do what he can do best in soccer. And you could not hear any difference between Wenger and players in terms of who they are as in person or anything in the dressing room, unlike what we see right now. It could be a cold war right now in Arsenal, as per my own imagination and opinion, because the players have a certain kind of pressure. One, because the type of coach they have, is expecting too much from them. At the same time, they are expected to do what sometimes they can't deliver, and the coach is maybe doing on what maybe somebody is playing with the doubts that am I doing the best for my coach? Because if you see this entanglement between the coach and Ozil, I think has brought something, a mixture of opinion, and people have made it. Some players know what Ozil could do. So some players so much demoralized, but they have no choice except to do to be on the duty. So by yesterday game was a surprise, and I think if if Arteta as a coach could carry that tempo in terms of sitting down with the players and agreeing and assuring the players that this is thing that we can always make. Remember what Ferguson used to do? Manu could be 2 down, 3 down first half, and they go in the dressing room. You know, Manu players were not the best, but Ferguson was the one who was winning that match. Do what he could tell them?
Mhm.
Guys, by the time we go inside, we should be in the second minute, we should be up, and then by the end of the minute, we should be finishing this game. That's why you could see Manu going 5 up, 5-3, either 3-2, and they win the game. And that's what most players need. You see, you tell them, they see themselves winning, not because they're the best, but with the mentality of doing something. That's why Wenger, if in Wenger's time, if a team could lose, they could say that my boys were nervous and my boys were a bit not concentrating in terms of what they were doing. But at the same time, he could always encourage them. That's what is required in Arsenal. No, Arsenal right now has a mixture of players that are very new to each other. Aubameyang was thunder when he was in his club in Germany.
Mhm.
But if you see how he's played in Arsenal, one time I was telling somebody that Aubameyang position in Arsenal is a bit complicated because if you see he needs to play in the flanks. That is how he comes up and scores goals because that is how he makes his game. That is how he plans his game, and that's how he plans to play.
Mhm.
Some players need some kind of empowerment, that are some priorities in the field, and you see what they can do.
Mhm.
See what Messi does. See what Ronaldo does. See right now I'm seeing it in Man U. See what Fernandez can do.
Mhm.
So some players give them way, and they do what as a coach
Let me
you expect.
come back to the question. Do you think Arsenal can, get now results going forward using the Chelsea game as a springboard?
I'm telling you, as I know from before, as I know Arsenal,
Mhm.
I'm not a fan of Arsenal, but I know Arsenal. I'm a team that they are a team that I know. My friend, Arsenal can win that game to even come up with this cup we call Europa Cup, and they can win all the matches. I'm telling you, Arsenal is the only team, if you go in history, that can beat all teams that we have in the world. Because check the history with Barcelona, the one of the best teams. See that season when other teams are beaten by Barcelona, what Arsenal can do.
Mhm.
The worst they can do is a draw. Furthermore, they can even win, but the problem is they could always go to a draw.
Mhm.
That is when Arsenal could always play what Arsenal means. So, but what I wanted to say that every club plays depending on the coach.
Mhm.
What type of a coach is this kind of person? You see now how Solskjaer came to Manu.
Mhm.
He gave everybody time to enjoy.
Mhm.
Can you enjoy yourself? So Arteta, I think, has some. He should always remove some of the measures he's giving to players. Maybe how they are playing in terms of how they want to do the game.
Mhm.
So and then you can see the result. Like yesterday, I didn't see any restriction in terms of how they are playing.
Mhm.
You saw how Saka was enjoying.
Mhm.
The Saka and Saka, this young boy.
Mhm.
That young boy is a star because if you really use that boy properly, I'm telling you, he's somebody to reckon in future.
Okay.
So from now, the next, I think the next the next team that Arsenal is going to play to,
Mhm.
will have a problem
You'll be
if they are
worried.
not prepared. If they are not prepared well, so that they can confirm that what they did was not by luck. They can confirm the following team that they are going to play to.
Okay, fair enough. So I'm back with you, Gilbert. So of course, we know Arteta is one of the managers. Of course, he's young, inexperienced, but in the past 2 months, he's been under immense pressure. And most of the fans have been calling him out of the club because performances have not been coming on his way, and some of the decisions that he has made there at Arsenal, they have come back to hit on him so hard. And I was looking at a situation where now, he looked like someone who was totally clueless, because when you keep on doing the same thing over and over and not getting the result, it makes you an idiot. Excuse me for using that word now. As it stands, is it Arteta in or Arteta out?
For me,
Yes.
I'm a Man United fan. I don't definitely, if the Arsenal results are bad, I'll say Arteta in. But in looking at that match in retrospect, when I saw the lineup, what popped out in my mind was, again, this is one of the crucial matches in Arteta's career as a manager. He had a tough run of games. I think it was Everton, then Manchester City, then Chelsea. Mm-hmm. And when I saw that lineup, one thing popped out that has been popping out from all his lineups, the lack of a creative midfielder. Ceballos wasn't playing, and he played. There's a guy called Rowe,
Smith Rowe,
Martinelli, and Xhaka. Mm-hmm. So there was no creative midfielder in the middle of the pack, and that has been his main undoing all through. Yesterday he might have got lucky because there are some results that went, like the penalty was a bit questionable, and Chelsea didn't turn up yesterday. I think they ate a lot for Christmas. Every player on that pitch was way down fitness wise. There was no hunger, there was no fire in them. So I wouldn't want to look at these results as the turning point. What the turning point would be if I see a change in the setup in terms of the formation that Arteta deploys, because there's no creativity in that team. There's no creative midfielder because he plays like a 3-4-3, and he has wing backs and two midfielders in Xhaka and who else was playing in that midfield? Who was partnering Xhaka?
Is El Neni.
El Neni, yes, Xhaka and El Neni, and both of them are defensive midfielders. Mm-hmm. There's no creativity in that setup. Mm-hmm. You had a very big chance, a good game against Chelsea, because Chelsea is a team that does not sit back. Top six sides are teams that you'll go par to par all game through. Mm-hmm. But next game, if you get a team low on the EPL table, mm-hmm. let's say a team like West Brom or a team like Sheffield, mm-hmm. teams that sit back, mm-hmm. and you're deploying the same formation, you'll have challenges. So I'd want to see a different approach from Arteta to different games, mm-hmm. not the same approach in terms of the formation to mm-hmm. all the games. That rarely works. That does not work. Mm-hmm. If you see what the problem Leeds have, Leeds play the same way all through, regardless of the opposition. They'll be breathtaking football all the way. The same design of football that they play is the way they play, regardless of the team they face. If they face West Brom, it's the same. If they face Manchester United, it's the same. So that's why they're not getting the results. Their results are up and down. Mm-hmm. So Arteta needs to upgrade his tactics mm-hmm. for him to survive, because if the same continues, I don't see any difference.
Okay.
Yeah.
George, Arteta in or Arteta out?
If you ask me that kind of question, I'm somebody like who want results, because I don't think Arteta has the capacity to run that team till it gives one of the best results people need, because his kind of tactics he uses in playing. Because like yesterday, I don't know why he left most of the best defenders in the bench and then putting on, I don't know what he's trying to experience or what he's trying to experiment in players, and that he knows who can play the best and where.
Who did he leave at the bench? Because we had Gabriel Magalhaes was reports say that he was diagnosed of he tested positive of COVID.
He had a red card.
Red card. I think he had done with it.
Okay.
You know, there was that carrying cup, so everything was cancelled, And so Luis was sick. And so there are no options, actually. So whatever Arteta played is whatever was available.
I don't know what was Aubameyang doing outside, for example.
Aubameyang, I think Aubameyang, even the last game, he was not involved because he had picked an injury. But again, I think Arteta wanted to try the new boys, with a lot of strength, maybe to see whether how the game will go. Maybe he could have maybe tweaked him. Yeah.
Man U fans, we know Man U fans, we know Arsenal what normal do. Most of them have running stomachs, especially when they have big games. I don't know what's happening or what do they eat the previous night. Now, what I'm trying to say, Arteta, if you ask me, Arteta is not fit, was not really, is not really good enough to be in that club, and Arsenal needs somebody who's a bit old in terms of who understands soccer, like the coach from what do you call this coach who was in PSG, and then Arsenal is believed to be having young guys, but nowadays I'm seeing they're having old guys. Mm-hmm. So he's not really to the situation whereby he can run that club and be successful as is expected of him. Because if Arsenal had somebody like Pochettino, I don't think what is in Tottenham is different from what Mourhino is different, unlike what Mourhino is doing there, apart from different players. Mm-hmm. If you get somebody like Pochettino is somebody who balances kind of people and the different players and the ages in terms, and they give out results. So Allegri,
but he's never won a trophy.
Sorry?
Pochettino has never won a trophy in England.
But let me tell you, my brother, as I say, the coach can be the best, but the results is expected from the players themselves. He can organize you very well. And Man U doesn't know, Man U could not play in a good game, but they had a lot of players, a lot of trophies. At the end of the day, like Ferguson used to tell people, I need the ball from the defense to the midfield and then to the strike, and where is the net? That's how Man U used to score. But the trophy, right now, you see where Tottenham are. I'm telling you, it's going to surprise you. Pochettino is somebody, I'm telling you, if you have him like this and the players play what is expected of them, that guy can have a lot of results. That's why he's the most wanted person right now. You see, PSG want him right now. Why is it if he's not somebody who can bring trophies?
I think he's the only person available.
Sorry?
But that's just speculation. I wouldn't be surprised if you see Allegri being unveiled as the PSG coach, because it's not yet confirmed whether Pochettino is going to PSG. But maybe just a small deviation. I think the PSG sacking of Tuchel was very harsh, given that
that one I concur with you.
Yes, it was very harsh, given that he had managed to take them to the last 16 at the expense of Man United, given the bad start they had started. And if you see their standings in the league, I think they are 2 points off the top team. And last season, he managed to take them to the Champions League final, something that has never happened in PSG history. So maybe if I'm thinking he had a disagreement with the top hierarchy at the club, I don't know.
No, it's because of the management. Some clubs have management, which means some clubs have some management that can always mean to what they want. Not like Arsenal, when they tell some coach that you need to have 3 matches and win, and then still the guy is there. So
just a moment. Innocent, you can put on your video. We cannot see you. You can only see
my video. Okay. Yeah. Can you see me now?
Of course we can see you now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let me finish up and then I'll come back to you. I know you want to say something.
Okay.
All right, George.
What I was trying to say, Gilbert was saying that Pochettino has no cup. Yeah. Arteta has just come in and won a cup, isn't it? Mm-hmm. But is he playing in a good game? So it also depends. It's the players who determine the game, not the coach. The coach gives you ideas, and the players, whatever you do in the field, matters a lot, because the coach gives you that, please, this is the net, go and fish. Okay. So if you don't go and get any fish and have all the skills, so whom are you to blame? Is it the person who is fishing or the person who taught you how to fish? So the results always has to be from the players themselves. I'm telling you, my brother, I am a Man U supporter. I like Pochettino, that I damn shell of what you call Oleguna. I am not a believer of Oleguna. I'm not a. It's like the even
He's third in the league.
sorry.
He's third in the league at the moment.
Doesn't matter even if you're number one. That guy is taking us nowhere. He's not taking us nowhere. Van Beek
Let me tell you something.
Just a minute. Van Beek is one of the best players. What is he doing outside? What are you? How can't you say that James is tired in the 45 minutes, in the 40 minutes? Bring on something like somebody who can play and putting him. You know, my friend. I hope we'll come to Man U. The moderator will bring us to Man U, then we start.
I'm just want us to finish with that.
So let me finish with Arteta. Arteta, I don't think he has a future in Arsenal.
So for you, it's Arteta out.
Arteta should be even gone even last week.
Okay, Innocent. Innocent, you can go on.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
So the issue is about if Arteta should be the manager or he should exit the wheel.
Yes.
First, the question is, does Arteta have a team worth for him to be sacked for? When I look at the Arsenal, team as a whole, I think Arteta is doing his best work. We are pushing a young coach who just came in. We want him to deliver. Just look around him. How many players in the Arsenal squad are within the league of Aubameyang?
Because if
you look at even Aston Villa and Arsenal, you can just pick some key names at Aston Villa. You feel like, why can't Arsenal be Aston Villa and Aston Villa be Arsenal? To me, this is what I normally say. Arteta is not bad. It's just that it's not yielding results. And where the results not coming, those young players are good. Like yesterday, he tried something. And you saw how hungry those young players are. But they need experience. And there is what we call, I'm a Liverpool fan. For instance, it took us like 7 seasons out of Champions League. What was it all about? We had world-class coaches, but the results were not coming in. Then we had this coach who was given a chance. He started building his own team. And during the conference, Klopp said, maybe in 4 years, we will win something. If I don't win anything here, I can try in Switzerland. Yes, Arteta has won a trophy, but which kind of a trophy?
FA.
That comes the question. So for me, what I will say is, let us Arteta be supported. Give him players like Lampard. If he flops, sack him. Arteta doesn't have a team. We could just say he's not performing. He has players. Look at, like, for instance, a team like Manchester United today. My colleague there, he says that he doesn't like Ole Gunnar. Let us look at the statistics. Actually, right now at the locker room, those players are performing. Bruno has been actually at the moment is the best player in the league. Even Pogba is coming up. When I was looking at the likes of Bailey, they're playing football. And even though it was a draw with Leicester, it doesn't mean Manchester United is not doing bad. They're third in the league. But when you look at Arteta, Arteta has been trying. Yes, he's a guy who suppresses bigger teams. But what we want to say is that, is he able also to get those results when he's playing with, at the moment, we can say that we have small teams in the Premier League. What you could say is they're short of good players. So Arteta for now, if Arsenal survives the relegation, he doesn't need to be sacked. But when I look at maybe the next 4 games, most definitely Aston Villa will beat you. But what will you show? And if you're able to survive all those maybe 5 games or 4 games and maybe yield 5 points, of which that's what I'm looking at, still is Arsenal able to have that cut of, let's say 30 points to avoid relegation, of which is possible. And then from there, Arteta is going to be supported. And I'm trying to look at also the scouting. You know, every coach needs a very good scouting team. Does it stem well? Did you just put Arteta there to be used as scapegoat? What is the guys behind the scenes doing, the scouts? If that one is possible, then Arsenal, maybe we give it in 3 years, they could be able to compete for top 4. But at the moment, Arsenal is not a top 4 material. Even actually finishing top 10, it will be very difficult. I know this is not genuine. This is not good for Arsenal fans to hear, but look at what is happening at the moment. Yes, they won against Chelsea, but doesn't mean they're going to win the next 4 or 5 games. What will make them win is, we're looking at that squad. How can Arteta manage it? And actually, when Aubameyang doesn't play, Arsenal plays better. When I was looking at last season, Aubameyang used to score. But right now, we're seeing the young players, the like of Saka, they're standing to the game and they're able to score. They're fighting for the team. Aubameyang, actually, when you look at his age, he has achieved in Germany, not much in England, but his age itself, the guy has good salary. Even if he moves to Qatar or the US, it doesn't lose anything. So we need young blood in that Arsenal team, the people who want to push that team, and Arteta is the right man if he's supported by the scouts.
Fair enough.
But Ngare, I have a question. You keep on saying
yes,
that needs players who are mature in Arsenal. Then you are saying we need young guys. You see, let me ask you one thing. You cannot give a coach every time, every year in, year out, you need to give him time. You are saying that if Arsenal survives the relegation, at the same time you are saying Arsenal is doing good. Let me ask you one thing.
yes.
I'm betting you that if Mourhino Arsenal right now, he'll do it better than what he's doing in Tottenham. I'm assuring just a minute. Arsenal is a team that is gifted to surprises in any team in the world. Remember when Gilbert were playing, the time of Gilbert, this Brazilian guy who was playing, leave alone Vieira time. The previous team, talk of Gilbert, talk of this guy who went to Barcelona and back.
Are you talking of Henry?
No, not Henry time.
Are you talking of Flamini?
Flamini. You remember the formation of Flamini, Gilbert, and this, what do you call this guy? This Spanish boy. What do you call him? When we went to the Barcelona.
Which season?
Boy.
Which season was that?
There was a clique of 4 boys who came up with a combination in Arsenal, and then then the coach came in and spread them out. They went to different clubs. That is when Arsenal died in terms of performance, my friend. So what I'm trying to tell you that Arsenal is indeed intact in terms of players, but the coach to back those boys is the problem.
Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question?
Just a minute. I'll give you time. Arteta will be the Arteta you are saying. Arteta will be the Arteta. You know, he was given 3 matches to prove himself. He has done nothing. That is the time he was given. Give him time. If you employ somebody who doesn't give results, are you talking of keeping somebody and supporting him, or need results? Arsenal is like any other club which needs to get money. Look at what Leeds are doing. I fear Leeds myself. I like their soccer. Leeds, my friend, I like their playing. Aston Villa, they have improved. They're one of the best teams for playing.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, right.
If you look at Arsenal squad and you look at Man U squad, Tottenham, or maybe Liverpool, how many players from Arsenal can make it to the first 11 of those teams?
We have from which team? How many players from which club?
From Arsenal.
Like today, if you pick the Arsenal team today, you compare it against Man U. How many Arsenal players will make the first 11 to Man United?
My friend, those guys are good.
If you are able, if you are able to pick 8 players from Arsenal that can make first 11 for Man U, then we can say Arteta is the problem in that team.
My friend, do you know? Can I?
Pick the names, George.
Just a minute. I'm not a fanatic. I'm a fan.
Yes.
Because if you say that I'm a fanatic, which means my emotional issues. Now, if you pick Bellerin, if you pick Zaka, if you pick Saka, if you pick Midland, and if you pick Ceballos, those are among the best players in Arsenal, my friend.
Whom are they benching in Man U?
Sorry?
Whom are they benching in Man U?
In Man U?
Yeah.
What are you telling us about somebody like, James, is James a player that we can always say that we can depend on? James, for example, James.
Let me come in.
Yes, I'm just giving you one example. Is James a player that you can all tell us to play?
Let me come in kindly. To answer Ngare, if I'm to pick players in Arsenal who I think can replace players in Man U, I think I'll only pick 2 players. One will be Aubameyang, and the second one will be Thomas Partey, because those are the only quality players I can pick from that Arsenal side to replace players in maybe our Man United side. But from my own perspective in this discussion is that Arteta needs to change his tactics, because his tactics have been the tactics that won him the FA Cup and the Community Shield are the same tactics he has been using all season through. He sets the team up the same way, 3-4-3. When Aubameyang is playing, they soak in the pressure and pass the ball to Aubameyang, making beat the defender. It has been just the same tactic, and teams found that out. Every game that Aubameyang was playing, he had someone marking him all throughout the game. So that tactic has not been working. Yesterday he used the same tactic, but it worked because he set up his team the same way, 3-4-3, without a creative midfield. And what I was saying before he joined in is that if he plays against lower bottom side in the league, teams that set themselves up defensively with the same formation, he'll struggle to get a result, because Chelsea play an open play. Top 6 sides play an open play. They don't defend or wait to hit you on the counter attack. So for Arteta to be successful, he needs to change his tactics. Approach each game or each opponent differently from you approach the other opponent. That's what will work for him. But sticking to the same tactic, 3-4-3 each game, you'll just get lopsided results like what Bielsa is getting, because you need to approach each game differently.
I think for the case of Bielsa, he has one problem. He plays a very good attacking football.
He's an idealist.
Very good midfield. But the guy, I think he goes to every game differently. He does. I don't know if he's facing an opponent, he sits with his players. They try to analyze the kind of, for instance, which kind of game does Crystal Palace play if we're going to approach them. The way you can approach Crystal Palace is different. The way you can approach, for instance, maybe Chelsea. But now, the guy just plays. Yeah, the play is colorful. But at the end of the day, he does what we call highline defensive. And, when someone puts the ball behind your defensive line, you're just punished. Like, actually, I was watching that game in the first half. They're playing very well, but still you could say the defense is not that good. But he's a good coach. Maybe he's employing that. When he was at the championship, actually, Leeds was outscoring opponents. For them, they are not worried about to score. But now we are at the Premier League where your opponent doesn't only look at if you are going to outscore them. If they score, for instance, a team like if Man U scores 2, they can say to lock you completely. And if we go back to the case of Arteta, these are the points I can give. Arteta, to some extent, I agree with Gilbert when he says that he needs to change the approach is facing the game. But again, remember, winning a trophy, a final, is different the way you play along weekend in, weekend out. first of all, the player mentality. Those players, they can play well. But again, we want to say, are they worth to where the Arsenal just were used to? You know, I miss that moment. If I'm facing Arsenal, I know even if I'm going to win, it's 2-1 or 1-0. Not a scenario that if I'm facing Arsenal, first half, we have scored 3. No, it doesn't have to work that way. We need to enjoy as fans. We need to enjoy the football. So to me, he can change the tactics, but again, also he needs financial support, proper scouting. The Arsenal in 2 years, it will be up there where we are used to seeing it as a bigger club. It's so sad that Arsenal is fighting to finish the top 10, unlike where top 4 was tough. Now teams are fitting in the likes of Leicester, Spurs, and Chelsea is there. I don't know if they will finish it there, what they're playing currently. But for now, Arsenal needs actually total grouping from the management, from the player perspective, and also from the scouting efforts.
Okay, fair enough. Let's just close the
I think I have one thing, and I think, Mr. Moderator, I have one thing I need to talk about Arsenal in terms of the Arteta issue. I think I don't know how Arteta was chosen as a coach in of Arsenal. I don't know what was in his mind. Is he going to achieve dreams? Is he going to achieve what he has done in Man City? Is he going to make it more? You can always hear him saying that whenever he's defending himself, he's saying that like Guardiola, you know.
But George, Zidane performed Madrid. He was a player.
Excuse me,
right?
I have no problem with that. I've no problem.
Gerrard is performing in the Scottish League. Is he not a player?
Mourhino is one of the best coaches, but he has never touched any soccer.
What do you mean?
Soccer is what you read. Soccer is what you read and plan. You know, there's one thing you guys don't get in Arsenal. Arsenal, okay, I'm a Man U fan, but I like one thing in Arsenal.
Yes.
Somebody has a ball, somebody has positioned himself to receive that ball. Man U, you have only one problem. Somebody has a ball, you're behind other players. You have nowhere to give the ball. So that's something you should learn, and I appreciate in Arsenal all the time, every day in, every day out. I don't know who will bring this thing to our team.
All right.
I like my team, but the other thing also I wanted is that I don't know, because I really want to know. I'm still bleeding because Ozil is not playing. Was one of the worst. That's the most dangerous player. We can agree. It means one of the most dangerous player we used to have in Arsenal. He can change results.
Who is that?
That guy can make results and change results in terms of
about Mesut Ozil.
Which Mesut Ozil?
Yeah.
No, I don't agree with that. I don't know about Gilbert.
About what?
Do we need Ozil in the Arsenal team?
I think the Ozil decision was a board decision, a decision made from the top management. I don't think Arteta could make such a decision.
Okay.
Shutting out a player who is earning £350,000 per week by himself. So
I think Gilbert, you're missing something.
Let me finish. I think from my own perspective is that his off-field activities in terms of his statements. I think there was an issue about China or something. Maybe Arsenal fans can elaborate. But there are some off-field activities that he did on his Twitter handle that put the club in bad light from I think the Chinese market or something. And I think the decision was made from the top. I think if it was Arteta's own decision, I think he'd be playing him. But if maybe the club hierarchy have decided that we don't want this player at the club, shut him out, maybe in January he'll be moved on. There's nothing that Arteta can do. So from my own looking at this issue, I think it's the club. Why did Emery also shut out Ozil? Arteta has come in, the same thing. With time, it boils down to the player. I don't think all this coach. He was also thrown out of the German team, so the player must be having some issues, maybe his attitude or there's just something that makes Ozil not be
No,
included in that.
What I can say is Ozil is a good player, but when you try to look where his sentiments began from, actually they started from Germany. You don't weaponize religion when you're playing soccer. People play soccer, they're from different denominations, but the way he puts it and the way even he tweets, every club needs to protect its image. Other than playing, clubs also they have invested abroad to also to have a good fan base. So as much as I think Ozil is good, but again, when you look at the management, they don't want to risk what they are doing good for the Arsenal team for only one player. And remember that no player is above the club or the team. So I think when the time comes for Ozil, probably that is the next transfer. I think he will show an exit.
Okay, fair enough, guys. Let's move to another thing altogether. We have spent a lot of time with Arsenal. It's because Arsenal has been making headlines for the wrong reasons, so it's so easy.
Arsenal is a big team, my friend.
The big team, you say that is fighting relegation.
You are the only team who has never been relegated, so you could test it. Even Juve got relegated and they came back.
Let's talk about Manchester United. Of course, Manchester United is sitting at 4th position, 14 games into the season, 8 wins. We have 3 draws and 3 defeats. And I was watching yesterday's game against Leicester, and to some point, I have also listened to a lot of discussions about Manchester United. Cavani versus Martial. Let's talk about this. I'll start with George. I know you have something to talk about.
You want to start with me?
Why guys laughing? Gilbert Gary, what's the problem?
Okay.
Yes.
No.
Let him handle the Martial versus Cavani issue. Then we move on to the next issue, because I see that we are digressing so much and missing the point sometimes.
Okay.
Gilbert, what's the problem? Be patient, my friend. No. I think both of them are good players.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate their effort in terms of playing. Now here the problem is I don't think it was good to feel Martial to be a striker in Man U, play number 9, and leave his former specialization in the flanks, the left flank. So I tend to think that I think they should. There is also Greenwood in the picture also. Now the club has to see in a way which way that this guy is either. Cavani should come 50-50 in terms of his playing in the club and leave Martial to do what he could do best, because that guy is more dangerous when he play as a flank player, because normally see, even if he's a striker, main striker, you always see that he has to go to the other side and come with the ball. He has to change naturally. Naturally, that guy is a winger. So Cavani is a good player. I appreciate, by the way, I cannot say Cavani is not a good player. I appreciate his efforts and everything. And you see how many goals he has scored and what he has done to the club. You really appreciate. Martial is one of the best players. I remember even Thierry telling Arsenal, missed what I wanted to come to Arsenal. You see what that guy is doing. He told them that is the next Thierry. So there are many clubs which are eyeing this young player. There are rumors that he's going out to France. So I'm also believing that guy should not get out of that team, because our club is bringing old guys, aged guys.
Let me ask you one question.
I don't know.
What has he done? What has Martial done that could warrant him stay at Manchester United? Because he came to Manchester, I think it was around 19 years, youngster with a lot of promise, but over and over, we haven't seen a season where you can say Martial has scored more than 15 goals.
Martial was one of the top players in the club, highest goals last season. If you check on the records,
how many goals did he get?
and I can't remember the exact goals, but and again, this season he has been having a lot of issues in terms of you know these players in Europe have one problem. There's a time he had a problem with a girlfriend, like his morale came down in playing. He was given a red card the other day. He doesn't play. You know, some of these things are, to me as a player, it normally affects them, because that's why you see some players normally get affected, some of these things. But as I think, he should go to his normal position and play there.
So for you, it's Martial over Cavani.
Yeah, it should be Martial over Cavani.
Okay, Innocent. I'll come with you. I'll come back to you.
First of all, how do you compare Cavani and Martial? As much as you know, let me try to give you an example of Martial and Firmino. You know, you don't have to score, but what is your contribution to the team? Are you that ideal breaker in the team? When I look at Cavani, when he plays, actually the entire team, which is Manchester United, they feel more comfortable that chances are 80% will get a goal. But when Martial plays, once in a while he scores. But at the end of the day, we need goals. And my friend says that Martial plays well at maybe, for instance, the left flank. Can he play well than this England guy? Why am I forgetting the name?
Greenwood?
Rashford. No, talk about Rashford. We're talking about Rashford. He can't play well than him. So for me, what we could say is that Martial is a squad player. Cavani, even if elderly or aged he is, at the moment, Manchester United should use Cavani maybe the next 1 year to achieve what they want, because that guy is a clinical finisher. He's a guy who can give you assists. Believe you me, Martial is one player who is very selfish. He can see a player who has a chance to score, and he himself has a chance to score, but he doesn't gauge, if I pass the ball, we are likely to score than me myself shooting. So for me, I could say that at the moment, let us give Falcao a chance so that at least Manchester United can realize bigger things at the moment. Because
Falcao is not in Manu. Falcao is not in Manu. Falcao is not there.
Cavani, sorry. If we have this Cavani at the moment, let him play. Let him give that team spirit. He's a guy who can create actual confidence among the younger players who are there. Yeah, we have the likes of Greenwood. We have this Martial, but at the end of the day, what does the team want? The team wants results. And look at the games. Look at the game. First, let me finish. Let me
interfere.
Wait, it's my time.
Just a moment, Jose.
When you look at the kind of games this season Martial has played, do you feel that he has contributed that much? And if you think he has contributed that much, how many assists does he have? How many goals has he scored? 2. Is he a guy who waits for the ball when it's supposed to be won? So those are some of the things when I look at Martial. He's young, he's brilliant. Yes, he's a squad player in France, but I don't think he's the first 11 squad player for Manchester United at the moment.
Okay. What was your concern, George?
You know, when Liverpool fans are commentating on Man U progress in terms of football, let me tell you one thing. That's where we go wrong. At the end of the day, the clubs end up having no players to play. The old guards are there to show us the young guys the experience on how to do things. But how long are we going to have Cavani and like we need to have Martial? So that is my question, because this guy should get used to being in the club because he has more years to play in the club. Because now we are going to make it, we are going to lose him because he's gonna go out because he doesn't play more games. So on the other side, no, you see, sometimes it's that how we motivate players. Someone too old comes out, take his position, plays, and the guy is gone. Could have improved well, could have done well in the club, and keep him. It's going to be very expensive. You buy an old guy very expensively. He comes and performs in a short while, and then he goes. Just a minute. Just a
do we
minute.
compromise? Do we
Just a minute.
compromise? Let me.
We need
As
to
you go
nurture.
on, you will
We
go
need to
on.
nurture.
That's okay. Nurturing is okay. But do we compromise quality because of age?
Thank you. Last season was Cavani in Man United.
He has come in. Why was he signed?
Did he achieve without Cavani last season?
No, you didn't.
What? I have no more questions.
Gilbert,
I have no more questions.
Bobby,
I have no more questions.
Bobby,
yes.
your question. What did you mean by Martial or Cavani? Was your question in terms of who should be starting regularly, or what was?
My question was in terms of output, because you really need somebody who produces the goods. And so we saw yesterday, and we have seen in several games, Ole seems to be trusting Martial more than Cavani, and it has been shown that whenever Cavani comes in, the game suddenly changes. You understand? And so I don't know.
Okay. If you look at Cavani's file and his history, he's on the wrong side of 30 for a striker, and he's playing in one of the toughest leagues.
Can you add a little bit of some volume?
Hey, Gilbert, get more breakfast.
So I'm saying, if you look at Cavani's file, in terms of his age, he's on the wrong side of 30, and he's playing in one of the strongest leagues in Europe. His injury record not been good in a fairly soft league of the French league. So it will be very naive for Solskjaer to be starting Cavani each and every weekend. I think for the time he's been, I think he's had an injury. I think he's just coming back from an injury. So there'll have to be a balance between both players. Cavani will not be the out-and-out striker for Man United at the moment, based on the facts that I've mentioned. Two, just to add on George's question, George's comment, he had said that Martial played well on the flanks, but in current football, when you're playing on the flanks, you need to be able to assist your fullback in defending. Martial is very poor going back, and that was one of the reasons he was shifted from the flanks to the striking position. For Martial, he's been at the club, I think, for 5 years, if I'm not wrong. And there's not been any progression that I've seen that can take the team to the next level. Ronaldo came into the club, I think it was in 2006. And by 2009, the guy was scoring 40 goals a season. Martial has been at the club at a similar period of time. And I think it's only last season that he managed to score 20 plus goals. So if Man United is looking to the future and progressing and catching up with Liverpool, we need a better forward than Martial. And it's no surprise that I think 2 seasons ago, or was it last season, we were going in for Haaland. I think just because of issues with his agent and the cut fee that he wanted, that he managed Borussia Dortmund. Because if Martial was the future for Manchester United, we wouldn't be going in for Haaland. Cavani wouldn't be at the club at the moment. So if a good striker becomes available for a good amount of money, I will go for that player, and Martial will have to compete with that player. And if he cannot deliver, it will be the door for him, because a player that he can't even get into the first 11 of France, Giroud, a 34-year-old player, plays ahead of him, and we are touting him for his off-the-ball movements like Firmino. It's very clear. For the moment, we are just tunamvumilia too because he's the only good option we have. But if Manchester United is to rise to the levels they were before, competing for the Champions League competitively and pushing for the Premier League competitively, Martial is not that person.
Okay, Gilbert, let me come in.
Yes.
And I want to actually also link the sentiments of George. Previously, we talked about Arteta, and he said that Arsenal is a big club. We don't need to test our coach there. The same case is to Martial. He's been Man U for 5 years. I think he has been tested enough, and he has not really, he has not performed to that level. So, yes.
I think there's somebody playing something that's affecting the audio. I'm hearing somebody playing something around because it seems like
my audio is good.
The audio is
mine is like it is a bit rough.
Yeah, because I'm hearing some. No.
Is it now?
Now you can continue. I think it's.
So what I'm saying is, if you look at, for instance, Imi Vardy, how old is he? He's still a flyer. The guy is 33 years old. He's performing in, weekend out. I can give you also another young player who just came in for only 7 matches. This guy was actually breaking records, Jota. So I think Martial is good, but at the moment, Manchester United needs a better player. It's not about a testing ground there. It's about performance and quality. Maybe if we say that Martial needs to be tested, maybe he could go to other Premier League clubs that are above top 10. But when you are playing with Manchester United at the moment, the kind of form they are at the moment, Martial maybe should up his game, or else he will be sold during the next transfer window.
Does Ole Gunnar Solskjaer have the right squad to compete for the title this season?
I think the only Achilles heel or the only weakness in our team is the defense, particularly the central partnership, because all other sectors in the team have kind of stepped up. Our attack is far much better than it was in the beginning of the season. Our midfield seems to be good, but our defense, starting from the goalkeeper and the central defensive partnership, is very weak. Ferguson once says that you win defenses wins you titles, and at the current moment, our defense, we seem to have made some mistakes. The 80 million purchase of Slab, we normally call it Slab because of his big head, Harry Maguire. I think we used a lot of money on a player that could not deliver equal to the amount of money that we spent on him, because our defense has not been elevated to a different level. If you see Virgil van Dijk's acquisition at Liverpool, their defense changed completely and they were able to bring in the big titles. But Harry Maguire, blunder after blunder, questionable positioning, slow on the turn, basic things that you would expect a top defender at a big club like Manchester United to be delivering. Is not delivering. And I don't know how that issue will be resolved, because the board, if the coaching unit suggests to the board that we want these two players, we spent close to £130 million on Harry Maguire and Wan-Bissaka. But their failings are there for all to see. Wan-Bissaka is good defensively, but going forward, I can play better than him going forward with my injury. He's clueless. He normally just hits the ball and expects it to land on any striker that will be there. So that's a very huge problem. I don't know how we'll solve it.
Really?
Yes. Huge problem, but we need to work with Ole Gunnar needs to work with what he has. But the biggest problem for us in terms of the title challenge, as Obi put it, I think is the failings in our defense.
Okay, Innocent. Ole Gunnar,
what he needs to
mount a serious challenge on win the EPL this season.
Oh, my answer is no, and I have my reason. What I don't agree with Gilbert is talking about the center backs. Of course, yeah, Maguire has been making some errors that have been costly to the team. But for me, I believe when you look at a team like, for instance, Liverpool, actually you have to defend from front. What is the contribution of these other players? If you lose the ball, are you able to win that ball back, or you just say, now I've lost the ball, I know Bissaka is back there and Maguire is back there. So if Manchester United, all the players have got that defensive mind, I think towards the end of the season, they can challenge the title. But until then, I'm looking forward to see what Ole Gunnar has to do about that, because there are teams I know at the league at the moment don't have even center backs at the moment, but still what other players are doing up front, there is that tenacity and the congestion back at the back, so that if the opponent wins the ball, are you able to narrow your defensive line so that you are able to get that ball? So
about the pressing game.
Yeah, I'm talking about the pressing game. So if Manchester United can press that game with the kind of abilities they have, I think they will be unstoppable, actually. That's it.
Okay, George, your thoughts?
I think Ole Gunnar is a laughing stock in Man U himself. I can just tell you issues from the goalkeeper to the last striker. I think the only person who is trying to play what I expect in so good soccer in Man U is maybe Fernandes. And we have Wan-Bissaka, Rashford, even Pogba. They do what I like in soccer. See, our goalkeeper, if we have a corner that is coming from the other side, we have a corner kick. Do you know, have you ever seen him moving from the goal?
But you have Henderson.
Never alone Henderson. I'm talking of De Gea.
Okay.
Just watch. If I'm trying to be biased, just watch on that. He has a very big weakness. Nobody have ever spotted that. We have scored most of the goals because when the ball comes and is inside 18, he can't go for that ball, and he knows that in his area.
You know, that one comes from the center backs.
Let me finish.
If the players, they are able to obstruct those balls, you'll be able to get those balls. That is what is lacking behind there.
When we were in training in soccer, I had goalkeepers being told any aerial ball that you can reach with your hand, somebody can't reach with the head, you go for it. Is that right?
Yes. So you want to tell me he has conceded only aerial balls?
Just a minute, you're saying?
You want to tell me De Gea only concedes top balls, those aerial balls?
You know, if you listen to what I'm saying, you ask me a question, because that's where I was coming to.
Okay.
You know, when aerial balls comes, before they come to the ground, where are they heading to? There's some aerial balls he needs to go for. Like other goalkeepers I've seen them doing. I've seen the shortest goalkeeper in the Premier League in Chelsea. That guy who looks like a player with only gloves. You can't know he's a goalkeeper. You know, that's my observation.
I like that.
You see, that aerial balls which comes, if he touches the ground, my friend, see where it's going to. Sometimes some balls come on the ground, they're just 1.5 meters above the ground, like yesterday's goal. See where it came from. Could he not come and jump and even punch it, get it, like other goalkeepers? That's a weakness that guy has. The guy always depends on reflex. The guy is smart on reflex. Now, and we need to change that completely, even because we concede more. You know, that is even where De Gea was the worst goalkeeper in the World Cup. He was the best goalkeeper in the world and the most scored goalkeeper in the world in terms of goals. That's why Spain left that thing, because he has that kind of weakness. Everybody believes he's one of the best players. He's one of the best goalkeepers. The other thing is that the coordination between Maguire, Wan-Bissaka, and these other guys actually is not really good. Everybody, in Manu, there's a problem whereby everybody depends on Maguire. When they know that Maguire is, everybody thinks that everything is okay. And that is not a thing. Maguire is a human being. He can have a problem. So Manu need to recruit one of the defenders that we need who can help this Maguire in terms of defending that place. You saw what this guy from Ivory Coast did yesterday was very good. He tried, at least, because he's a bit vibrant, and I like what he does. Then the other thing is that as one of the people have said that Manu, we are very selfish. Honestly, we are very selfish. I don't know how much you have been promised that if you score a goal, you have a bonus on that. If you score more goals, you have more bonus. Not that we don't give out some obvious passes.
In fact, to come in, in fact, that selfishness, I witnessed it in the game against Leipzig. It was Greenwood and Rashford. There were some chances that Rashford was clear on goal and Greenwood was going for the glory. So basically, that breaks down to coaching. There are some aspects of coaching that you need to pass through to the players so that for you to deliver.
Now, Fernandez is trying to demonstrate on how to share when you are in a position to. And the other thing I always cry, we never create space for somebody who has the ball to give you a ball. Maguire has to run with the ball from the defense to the midfield and then goes back with it to the goalkeeper. Our goalkeeper will always give the ball 1-2 near the goal and at the box of 12 so that people can play until it goes at the side. I like what Man City does. My friend, Man City players are very good in terms of footwork, ball sharing. Somebody has a ball, he has 3-4 options to give all the ball. Somebody is very free.
Okay.
Then I used to like the diamond thing. The diamond thing when you have the ball. The defense should always make a diamond. Sometimes it's very important.
Can I come in before? Can I come in before?
Have you finished, George?
No, I'm not finished.
Just finish up because we don't have enough time. We want to move to Chelsea and Man City.
So there are a lot of things that our coach has to do in terms of bringing out players who plays like Fernandez, in terms of giving out the ball, scoring, not being selfish. Like yesterday, you saw what Rashford costed us. The first 5 minutes, we had like 3 more goals. That is the game that we should have won the first 20 minutes. But the problem with Man is one thing. We have the team fears when we play with them, the opponents. But when they discover that we are doing nothing, my friend, they come back, and that's how we lose normally. We normally lose our games. And at the same time, when we score any goal, we become vulnerable after that.
Okay.
We become vulnerable. I don't know why we always tension. Thank you so much. I had more to share, but maybe
because we have 3 more teams to share or to talk about, and time is not on our side. Just going to mention a few things, and you were saying something, Innocent, before.
Yes, definitely. What I'm saying is selfishness in a team is good, but if only you have that clear opportunity to score. Not that you have your opponent or your partner or your other player at the pitch who has a clear chance to score, but you feel like you don't need to pass.
That's what we are talking.
Yeah, and if you look like the case of Liverpool, we have Salah and Mane. Their chances, we see selfishness in them, but we have got one gift there in that team who is a neutralizer, Firmino. If we never had that guy who is so unselfish, I think we could be stuck like other teams at the moment. So I think we need, maybe for instance, a captain in that team who is so vocal, says that selfishness, if someone has a clear chance to score, let that guy score or pass that ball to that guy to score. I think that way alone could actually make Manchester United a better team.
I think, Obi, to move on, we need to handle the Ole issue. We had started it, but we didn't finalize it when we were talking about Arsenal.
Okay. So, can you talk about it just briefly before we move to Chelsea?
My take on that issue was there are a lot of deservedly so that that Ole is not the person to take us forward, and there are those that see that Ole needs time, and they are seeing signs of progress.
Gilbert, we are straining to hear you. Gilbert, we are straining to hear you.
Okay, I'm saying there are fans that are of the opinion that Ole is not the coach to take the team forward, based on his results. They are not sometimes consistent, and there are those that saying that they are seeing progress with him. For me, I'd say that we've tried all the caliber of coaches that are there. We went for Ferguson's pick in Moyes, it didn't work out. We went for experience twice, Van Gaal and Mourhino, it didn't work out. Then we picked Ole, who was a stopgap in anticipation for this former Tottenham guy who is headed to PSG. And he has nailed the position. Basically, I'm seeing progress. I'm seeing signs of progress. I'm seeing tactical changes here and there. For me, I'll give the benefit of the doubt. It takes time to build a title-winning team. Klopp stayed at Liverpool, I think, for 4 years before he won a trophy. If he was at Man United, I think he would have been sacked because our fans are so impatient because we are so.
No, we like that guy.
Under Ferguson, two seasons could not pass without any major silverware. So most of the fans did not grow up in the 80s when Man United was struggling with relegation. So it's normal. So I think, from my own take, I'll give Ole time to build his team, to build a title-winning team. He's made some good purchases here and there. I'm seeing progress. The league exit was a big dent on his CV. I was so disappointed in it. But at the moment, we are third in the league. We are churning out good results. A few issues here and there that need solving. So the wheel is not broken. Why fix it? So Ole should continue being
I think Gilbert, remember when Ole was given the last game to prove himself, when he's always given the last game to prove himself, that's the game he always wins. If he doesn't win that, I think he should be out. No, I really, you see, the person who spoils that club, the most who makes things worse in that club is Ferguson. Ferguson bringing us Moyes selling us our players. See, I think if you can agree with me, that's where things started going wrong. If you ask me honestly, that's where things started going wrong in Man U. You cannot come in and know that this player, that's this player. Like I want to remind you, Gary, there was some beef between Arteta and Ozil. He told him, Ozil, all of us have to give part of our salaries because of the COVID. And what did Ozil say? I'm just giving out a tip. Go and you'll get it somewhere. Read about it. And again, he came himself, he gave a press when he was asked, he said that personally, I am the one who made the decision that Ozil should not be in the team, not the management. Go and look for that information. You will find it somewhere. So I'm trying to say that it depends on the relationship between the coach and the players. Right now, my Man U fan like me, Gilbert, you are aware that most Manchester United players are not comfortable with Pogba and De Gea. Maybe if you're not aware, go read about that. You'll find out there in the public domain. Players are complaining so much, and if players, not 1, 2, 3, 4, if they all other players are ganging against two people saying that these are the guys who are a problem to our issue, just know there's a problem. So that is my club money. Go find it. It's there. It's factual, and you read it about it. So that's what are the things that are making things not happening, and might lead to why Pogba sometimes even the game. But Pogba is a good player. The problem with him is a lot of pride. He's a very good player. Pogba is one of the guys that can come to the pitch and change the game. In terms of his football supply, he's not selfish at all. You normally see how when he has the ball, where he normally knows who is supposed to land somewhere. Like Arsenal, The former Arsenal, when they used to play, Pires could have the ball without looking up. He knows where there is, and the next thing you hear is a goal. You remember that kind of soccer? Good soccer that you can always admire. So my coming in is that I'm not sure if most of you are saying that Ole should be there. Me, I'll just be patient, praying God that, oh God of mercy, help us. I'll have a prayer in every game. But if you ask me, I needed Pochettino so much in our club, more than any other person. Or they can put in Allegri and it go far. Thank you.
Fair enough. So let's just, I would like us to keep time conscious. 1 minute, because we are running out of time. Chelsea, starting the Premier League good. Now, up to yesterday, okay, up to yesterday, Chelsea have lost three of their last. They have lost their last four. Their away games. 3 of their last away games. I don't know how I can put that one. I think I've lost it. No, they have lost 3 times, 3 away games consecutively, and things are not looking good for Lampard and the boys. What is happening is a situation where we can say they were contenders and now they are pretenders.
Allow me to go first.
Mm-hmm.
I think the issue with Chelsea is that some of the key acquisitions that were bought in the last transfer season are having a very bad run of form. Warner has been deployed in 2 different positions, but he's still churning out bad results. You can't compare the results he's churning out at Chelsea with what he was churning out at RB Leipzig. This is a player that was bought for £90 million. I've watched him close to 5 games, and I'm wondering what went wrong. This German guy, I forget his name.
Timo Werner.
No, there's Timo Werner and the other one who was bought from Bayern Leverkusen.
Havertz.
He came in with so much billing. His ratings were so high. He was being as the next best attacking midfielder. His game was being likened to Zidane. But I've watched him so many times, and I'm wondering, why did Chelsea pay over £90 million for this player? Because I'm not seeing that £90 million in that player. YouTube and check his performances at for Leverkusen. So it has been. I think the players have not kicked on. The players that were brought in. The only person who has nailed his position is the goalkeeper. So it puts Lampard in a very tricky situation, because if Abramovich spends close to over £200 million on that squad and the results don't come in, I think Abramovich modus operandi of operation is the sack. So I think the players need to turn up for the manager, because I think Lampard has done his best. If it was his choice, he would have continued with the youngsters that he had last season. Tammy Abraham was performing very well for him, but since Warner came in, his performances have been down because he's not starting regularly as he used to. And one obviously starts because of the price tag. So Lampard is in a very tricky situation, because you have players that were bought expensively, that the management wants value for those players, but the players themselves are not performing to the level that you are expecting, and you need to have results. So you need to balance. It's a very delicate balance. So I don't know what Lampard is going to do, but it's up to him to make a decision on how he'll structure his team.
Okay.
I think let me comment a bit.
Okay.
The Egma or the issue of saying new coaches, new clubs, the excitement they have. I know Ngare will start laughing. You're lucky you have a man who is old and he knows what he's doing. No. When when this coach Lampard forgot on how he should have his defense and the people who are supposed to be that defense. When he forgot about fielding Alonso, when he forgot knowing that Giroud is somebody who is supposed to stand to stick. And let me tell you one thing. Chelsea have one thing they don't know in life. Giroud is one of the best players people don't know. That's why even he always in the national team of France. Giroud has only one creative thing he does. He can bring, when he has the ball in the opponent area, he brings all the defenders concentrate on him. Forget that the other people who can do something in the ball. If you watch him during the internationals, that's what he does. All the defenders go to him and forget there is something else going on. When he forgot to feel Alonso, he knows what he's doing. Alonso is good in shots. Alonso is good in free kicks. When he borrowed Dan Silva from PSG and then put him as the main man, the guy who could always do a lot of mistakes in his former club, and even he has posted in a goal right now. I'm just my own opinion.
George, can I chip in something? I think Alonso performed well in the system that this guy that went to Inter Milan was playing, the 3-4-3, where he was playing a wing back.
Conte.
Yes, sorry, Conte. Yes.
Conte system.
But when Alonso is deployed as a left back, he's very poor in defending. So
just a minute. Go and Google that. Go and see most of the play. When they started, when Lampard came in, they lost a lot of some of the games. When Alonso came, they at least won 3-4 games, and then this guy said, let me give this a guy. That guy is not badly off, guys. Let me tell you, he's not a badly off guy.
Better than Chilwell.
Alonso understands the system of playing in England. See the kind of shots, crosses you normally get, and when you you'll always count. That's my own opinion.
Alonso better than Chilwell.
Where they lost, when Rudiger went out, Zuma is a good boy, but he's a fumbler. He's a good defender, but he's a fumbler still. And when they also discovered that Golo Kante, but they know that they should not give Golo Kante central defense. They knew that when they believe in this guy called this guy who replaced him. What do you call him? I forgot his name. Jorginho. When they believed on Jorginho and forgot about Kante, my friend is covered. Now see what Golo Kante does. He's one of the best guys. He intervenes, he's tackling, and he gives out the ball well. But when Lampard brought his new guys and started exposing, tell them now play and win the ball and play as it should be. That guy, his results have been 50. He can win, he can lose, he can draw. However, to me, there is inconsistency. There is inconsistency. Now there is feeling of Odoi, there is feeling of this guy, the guy who's a striker, what do you call him?
Tammy Abraham.
Abraham. He believes, he just says that let me try this. He's just doing on reflex. I think that is where his inconsistency in terms of putting the best players to play or the best players to play in which position. That is what is costing man at the same time. And again, Chelsea have inferiority complex issues that they know that they're best and they can always win in every game. Like yesterday they were in a big route, they were in a shock. In fact, even they became so confused on what to play and how to play. So that one also, I think, I'm not trying to be against it. My opinion is that there is that consistency in a team that somebody as a coach needs to know that don't bring new guys, give them every game, expose them to every game, at least sometimes put them in slowly so that they can always get the result. That's my opinion.
Okay. Innocent.
See, when I listen to my brothers talk, I agree with them. Honestly, look at those new acquisitions Chelsea has. Look at CH, look at Havertz, look at Timo Werner. Sometimes when I look at that team guy, was it the guy who was playing in Germany, Bundesliga? I don't know. Sometimes he doesn't even have confidence. You know, people have been saying that their guy is being played out of position. But wait a minute. Even that out of position, what is he showing actually? And we have the coach who is Lampard. He doesn't want to say that. He has great guys bench, the likes of Giroud, who can rescue him. It is not bad to have these expensive players, but you don't just fix them in. I can give you an example like Thiago. Yes, he's a good player who came to Liverpool, but it is not a punch that he has to start first 11. No. I think what Lampard was to do, have these guys, release them bit by bit so that they can have that intensity as time goes forward. But I know he has pressure from the management. These guys have got a very high price tag. They have to play. But being expensive doesn't mean you're going to perform. Yes, they are good players, but this is the league. The league is different from Bundesliga. They need to learn so that they can fit in. I think that's another problem that, and again, look at like the game Chelsea were playing yesterday. Who saw that those guys were just lazy? They were not even running. Is that like, there was no intensity at all. Like, look at Jorginho. When he loses the ball, does he even try to attack? Does he even try to win that ball back? Another player there I never expected, that who has been actually performing well, who has convinced me, I was not convinced yet. Zuma is playing well. But I think he doesn't have the support from the midfield, these guys who can defend, right? And the guys who need to score goals. You know, Chelsea has got these players, but you wonder, do we blame Lampard or do we blame the players? Why is the attitude? They have that attitude. But I think the only thing that Lampard can do that is to tell those guys, you are good, but you are not going to play for me if you don't perform. So if that one is done, we have these young guys, the likes of Odoi, Abraham, those are the guys who are hungry to play. Let them play so that these other expensive guys, they know, for me, to stamp in my starting 11, I have to play better than that one. I can give you an example. We have this young lad, Jonas. He's young, but that guy actually, even when Thiago comes, he knows that I'm going to play, but I have this young guy here who plays well. Chelsea has got all that talent disposal, but I think the attitude of the players, do those players really respect Lampard? Someone wonders the way they are playing. So maybe Gilbert and George, you can tell me what you see. I don't know.
It's a hard one for everyone because basically bringing in new players, so many new players in the team, and expecting them to gel and churn out results in one season is very hard. And given that Lampard's situation and the owner of that club, Roman Abramovich, is very ruthless. If he spends close to 200 million on that squad and you don't deliver as much as, I think even a top 4 finish won't be enough for Abramovich with that financial outlay. So the pressure that Lampard is in is so immense. He needs to balance bringing those new players so that they bring value to the club in terms of shirt sales and all that, and then expect the team to be performing on a consistent level. So it's a very, Lampard is in a catch-21 situation. It's what I can say.
I like all Ferguson. David Beckham, Nick Butt, Armand Veron, Jab Stamp. No, a team comes in, everybody can do what somebody is capable to do. You know how Ferguson used to arrange them? You get Nick Butt, you get Scholes. If you meet Scholes, you have one man Veron. If you meet one man Veron, then you're in for death because you have Jab Stamp. Jab Stamp will always finish you before even you score. So I think the modern coaches we have, always sometimes not forget to look for history and see the system. The system in every club had history. You see, even the old people who used to come to the stadium and watch them, they can even. When I used to watch Papa in Kishwana when he used to play, I remember there's an old man who fought his wife telling her that you're going to eat lunch by 11. I'm supposed to eat. I want to go and watch Ghana. They know what they want to support and what they want to see. Somebody can sit and analyze soccer. If you're a coach, you this thing, you'll make something out of it. I don't know. That's what I'm telling these teenagers who are running this club, Arteta, Ole Gunnar, Rampart. I don't know if they normally use the system of losing these clips and seeing where they're supposed to be. I don't know if they get ideas or they want to implement what they know. They're giving us imaginative soccer. They're doing it. They're running this club, this soccer system imaginatively. I don't know.
If I'm to maybe comment on that, football has to progress. The football that we used to play in the early 2000s of 4-4-2 system, it will be very hard for such a system to work in the current environment. Maybe that's why the new managers are trying to come up with new playing systems. I think Guardiola, when he came into the Premier League, he changed the landscape up to the extent that you see Man United, who never used to play from the back, now De Gea nowadays fumbles with the ball to pass to a defender. So I think football changes, and if you don't change with it, you'll be left behind. So
no, I didn't mean Gilbert.
Young managers.
I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that. I don't mean that they should apply the same system those people used to do. I'm just saying that if those people, that's what they used to do. You yourself, what can you do to improve? Everything you have to be creative. That's why the best person in the field is called a creative midfielder. Why don't they say a midfielder? They say a creative midfielder. You have to use your brains. You see, I'm saying if they are good football that time, and like now, where things are going, why don't you be creative and do something better than that? So I think they are doing something that we are not saying that they're killing the system. They're killing every club. They're killing on what we need to see. And I don't think they need much. They really need much. You remember, even Edu told Arteta that if you don't win these 3 matches, they're going to sack you.
Okay, let me move you to sorry. Are you done?
Yeah, what I could say is that when you look at England, are these top teams ready for young managers? I'm talking about Lampard and Arteta. Like, when you see, like, we have this father figure who just moved to Everton, Ancelotti, and the way Everton is playing, even with some average players, the way they're playing football, I feel like it's a top team. So
yes.
Is it that Arsenal needs that kind of a name? Now, I don't know, but
I think Arsenal is the problem. He has gone to Villarreal and he's played 19 games without defeat.
Yeah.
So it's not bad. He's going to Spain and Villarreal is breaking records. So
No.
I mean, Unai was a good manager. I have to admit that. The only thing is that he came in during the wrong time. Sometimes he changed the team so much, in, week out. He not have time, to know who are his starting 11, and the pressure was on him. He had some difficulties with the language, and so he was at the losing end, and that's how he left. I feel so sorry for him. I know Unai is a better manager than Arteta, sure. But again, it happens in football. You don't have enough time to yourself. Sometimes.
But Steve, look here. Marcelo Bielsa doesn't even speak English. Is he compromised?
No, let's move to Liverpool.
Okay.
Liverpool.
And Steve, Adama, being a manager of the club is not going. You are not going for a comfort zone. Comfort zone. There's nothing. You have to know that you are in for your own death.
Now I'm talking about. Okay, Liverpool.
Yes.
Sitting at the top of the Premier League right now. They have had a lot of challenges along the way because we all know that Van Dijk is out, Joe Gomez is out, Diogo Jota is out, Thiago Alcantara is out. But again, they have they have dealt with this situation and setbacks, and they're able to, to mount a serious challenge on the English Premier League. And so, I don't know. There is a certain rumor that is out right now. I don't know whether it's true or it's actually speculation that in the near future, Liverpool will be doing without Mo Salah, because there are speculations that he's interested so much to
a club that is at the top on their top game for clubs that are struggling. Why would Mo Salah move from Liverpool to Barcelona? Barcelona is struggling. They lose Lionel Messi in the next transfer window, maybe to PSG or to Manchester City. Real Madrid are neither here nor there. They struggle to get out of their group in the Champions League. Liverpool without Van Dijk, I think they topped their group or they were second. So I think Mo Salah will be very stupid to move from a club that is at the peak and move to struggling clubs. I wouldn't understand such a move. I basically think the media just took maybe his grumbling for being benched in some games, and I wouldn't fault Klopp for that. In the festive seasons, the fixtures are so many and they come up so fast, and you need to rotate that squad so that you keep everyone fit and reduce the risk of getting injuries. So that rumor of Mo Salah moving to the Spanish clubs, from my own point, I think it's hogwash. I don't see why you should move from a club which is performing at the top of the level and capable of going all the way in the Champions League to clubs that are struggling or in transition. So maybe if he dreamt of playing for maybe Real Madrid or Barcelona in his career, fine. But can you dream of going? It could be a dream, yes, but can you dream of going to a club that is struggling, even if it's a dream? I could have been dreaming for playing for Portsmouth. Portsmouth is in the third tier of the English league. So that rumor is very baffling for me. But to comment on Liverpool's performance, I think Klopp is a master tactician. To be able to be at the top of the league with the kind of injuries he's had, if Man United had lost, let's say someone like De Gea or Maguire, add that to a midfielder like Fred and a forward like Martial, we would be in the middle of the league. So Liverpool at the moment down to the mercurial and the masterful tactics of Jurgen Klopp. The youngsters are coming and are performing. Basically, it's down to the manager, because he encourages his players so much. He's someone that never talks ill of his players in the media. The players play for him, they back him, they perform for him, game in, game out. Whoever comes in to play, there have been some youngsters who played in that defensive lineup.
That is Jones.
Yes, and they've been giving in some very good performances, and that's down to the coaching. Mm-hmm. So if Liverpool win this league, it will be down to Klopp's masterful tactics. There's an assistant coach that he had that left. I think it was last season. Mm-hmm. Talking a lot of bullshit in the media that he's the one who made Klopp. He was at Klopp at Mainz. He was the brains behind Klopp's success. But from what I'm seeing is that Klopp was the main man. So I expect a lot of a good performance from Liverpool. And this is the only time the other teams are able to catch up with Liverpool, because it's a wounded tiger at the moment. And if you are not able to capitalize when they are down at this moment, when their top players start coming back in, when Thiago Alcantara comes back in, Matip comes back in, their defenders come back in, we'll struggle to catch up with them. So this is the point that the chasing pack needs to up their performances. In fact, I was very mad when we drew against Leicester, because if you let Liverpool widen that gap, heading into January, catching up with them will be very tricky.
Okay, Innocent. That's a minute.
Well, I start from Mo and then I proceed to performance. What I could say is, I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
The case of Mo Salah actually is the media trying to create a story within Klopp's backyard. I've always said that if Mo Salah had to move out of Liverpool, it's not any pressure or anything, because at the moment he has been given the best contract offer to earn among the top players in the Premier League. That one is on offer, but is yet to sign. So I think if he was to move, and actually the contract for him runs up to 2023, it could be maybe on personal views that he wants, that maybe wants to play to those teams. But if you look at the moment in Europe, I don't see a top team that Mo Salah could move that is doing better than Liverpool at the moment. So where he is, and still the kind of players that he's surrounded with, they're top class players. So to me, that is just rumor at the moment, but we'll see how things unfold, because we have seen the likes of Fernando Torres, they moved from Liverpool. We saw the likes of Coutinho, they moved, the likes of Suarez, but at the end of the day, still the club remains. So for me, there is no pressure about losing Mo. He has a contract up to 2023. He has the best offer, contract terms on the table at the moment. So it's not something to worry about. And when you look about team performance, I'm a Liverpool fan, but the way those rookies who have been introduced, actually they've done it. And what does that tell you? There is some attribute or some confidence Klopp gives players. Go there, play, and play to your best. You can't even tell that Fabinho is not a center back. That guy is a midfielder, but the way he plays, like there is a day we were playing against Chelsea. Actually, all the balls Timo was trying to tackle, he won all of them. There is this other kid who is Rice Williams. Actually, the guy is just 19. He's tall like Van Dijk. He plays very well. But this one is not only players. You have to look at the game plan from the coaches. Actually, we have a deputy coach you guys hardly talk about. He's called Pep Linders. That guy is a genius. I think this kind of support Klopp has, and also the kind of his ideologies, they're well being implemented at the field. So what has been also good, if you look, actually, there is a player, Gilbert, I thought you'll mention, he forgot to mention. When you look at Henderson, that guy is a leader. When players go up front, that guy is back defending. When you see any of our fullbacks shifts to give a pass or to give an assist, that guy covers there. He's ever on the field.
In fact, there's a comment he made after the game against Crystal Palace.
Yes.
When you beat them, I think it was 7-1, and they said Henderson made a comment was that he thinks there were some weaknesses in their play that they could have perfected on. And I was wondering, you just won by 7 goals, and he's still pointing out some weaknesses in the team. So that is the kind of leadership you want.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also,
yeah, go on.
And also we have Jimmy Wijnaldum. That guy, the way he controls the ball, actually he obstructs improbable passes and opponents want to create in that midfield. He's quiet. And again, when you go up front, you look at Firmino. Firmino is a striker, but he only moves the box when there are crosses. He's behind there trying to hold. So I think the way clubs position these players, you may be a striker, you may be a fullback, you may be a midfielder, but you must have that spirit to fight for the team. And also, players have got freedom. Even if you have that freedom, you don't misuse it. I can give you an example. When we had an injury of our goalkeeper, we tried Adrian. That guy was just sucking in goals like crazy. Then we had this kid, 19 years, Keller. You saw how confident that keeper was. He's a young lad, but he really played very well. So
Adrian cost you guys the Champions League last season against Atletico Madrid.
You see, and he's the one who actually who conceded 7 against Aston Villa. Are you aware?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So it's not. I think Klopp immediately realizes that you are a weakling in that team. You go back door. You're supposed to polish your game. So I think it's something other coaches need to learn from. That's why even Pep Guardiola says that when he looks at Liverpool team, even with injuries, it doesn't see any weakness. So I think at the moment, Liverpool, yeah, maybe a fan, is playing the top of their game. And let us keep enjoying that top of the game. But I know with football, over time, these things change. But what is going to be tough is, at the moment, Liverpool is creating that 4-point gap. That's why you are seeing Pep Guardiola is trying to grill, even if it's 2 or 1-0, he has to win those matches. So other teams to catch up. If Van Dijk is back, Matip is back, Thiago is back, Jota is back. You know, Jota is a goal machine. He's one guy who scores from, teams right now. I know very well, and I agree with Gilbert, that draw against Leicester, even the coach of Leicester himself said that this game was not meant for a draw. So they know very well that you should not give Liverpool a chance to widen that gap, because if you see Liverpool has gone a 10-point gap, it is done. They have to be, and I don't want a situation that we are going like maybe 15 points gap. No, I want us to win this league with 1 point. It will be better. It will be better. Pardon?
You want a competitive tournament?
I want a competitive tournament. That is what I want, so that we see other players also shining. Not that we are winning all the time. We are winning. No, even if we win, let it be tough.
All right, George.
Yeah. I'm just laughing after hearing what a Liverpool fan can always say. And knowing this is the England football, this is England league, the best league in the world. Spanish league has talent. English football has what you call real football. If you come from any part of the world and play in England and become a star, my friend, thumbs up. It's the best league in the world. Mm-hmm. Now, Liverpool have this concept that, like I told people, last season you were the top and you won the league. In England, it's either I don't know what happens, to lead twice and get 2. If you win the Premier League twice consecutively, at least there must be a lot of footwork done. There must be a lot of issues done about your team. Now, Liverpool being on the top of the table last season was a benchmark to everybody for this season. As you know, in England, every team that wins the league, the following season, everybody has done some homework about it.
Mm-hmm. Definitely agree with you.
Now, like, for example, let me go out of the topic. We were beaten by Tottenham because Mourhino knows that our wingers never go back.
Yes.
Our wingers never go. I think Gilbert will curse me for that. But let me tell you a fact that our wingers will never go back to defend. They will always remain, wait for the ball to come and make runs.
Okay.
That's what Mourhino capitalizes on.
Just a second. Let me bring in Videlis is one of our guys. Videlis, welcome. And
thank you, Steve.
Yeah, we are talking about Liverpool and their chances of making it a double this season. So this is George. Of course, you know Gilbert and you know Innocent. Yeah. And
yes.
So maybe I'll come back to you later. Let George finish. Okay.
All right.
So, my brother, I want to tell you that Liverpool have a very rough time this time to win that cup. If you see the difference in our league points in terms of, if you lose one match right now, you either go number 10, 12, or 15. If you draw, you go 3 positions behind. But if you keep on winning, you give people a hard time to get you. But this time, I don't see Liverpool remaining to be the top and getting this cup, because what is happening right now? You saw what happened, the kind of losses they've been having. And the worst thing is depending on just a minute. The worst thing is always depending on the players that are good in any position is not the right thing. Your defender, your best defender right now is in injury. The guy has brought in somebody who can always defend. Jota is one of the best surprises I've seen in the Premier League. The way he plays and the way he scores. For that one counter, I have respect to that guy. He's one of the best players. That's one even I'm saying that if I was one of the scouts in the English Premier League and representing any team, I couldn't go outside England clubs to get players. Players are just still there. The players are there to pick and make a league what it is and become a good team. Like what Ferguson used to do. He goes to Wigan and bring Valencia from there. He goes to Leeds, bring Ferdinand from there. You know, picking players from England. By watching them, you know, our problem, our coach is only that they want to win that game. They don't care who is this playing on the other team and what is he capable of. You know, that's what we always miss. We need to be imaginative in such a situation. Now, Liverpool, the fact that they are playing what they are playing right now, in fact, they are under pressure because they have to maintain their status quo on what happened and what they know they need to. But it's going to be very hard. I'm not sure. I don't think Liverpool can take this cup. There'll be surprises. You see what is happening with Everton, what they are doing. You see what's happening with Leicester, what they are doing. I'm telling you, by December right now, it determines on what happened to the next level, the second half of the league.
As we speak right now, Sadio Mane just scored.
Just a minute. I know it's you're one up. I've seen the results. You're one up. And the game is not over. Like in Manu, we say until the last whistle, then you know the results. That's what Manu we do. We normally do.
Okay, so
now I'm not finished, my brother. Give me a few minutes.
Just 1 minute, please, because we need to move to Tottenham and Man City, and we have 10 minutes.
I've not spoken to about Salah because there are two things we talk about: the Liverpool team as a team and Salah. We need to comment about.
Okay, go ahead.
Salah. Now let me leave what I had about Liverpool. Let me talk about Salah, my friend. To Salah. That's why Liverpool. Are you hearing me?
I think we lost you, but we can get you now.
I think that's why Liverpool brought a new contract for Salah to make him not move. If I was Salah and I have something good to go and do in the Spanish league, I have no problem. I have to move on. Life has to move on because too much is boring. What I'm getting on the other side could be better than I can't keep on keeping the name of the team. Yes, thank you. But my side also, I need to know. That's what Ronaldo are doing. That is what Messi is doing. That's what everybody doing in the club. Don't forget, at the end of it all, you are yourself as an individual. Now you have your own issues.
Let me ask you, George. Let me ask you. Why do you think Lionel Messi? Why do you think he wants to leave? He wants to leave Barcelona. Is it that Barcelona is okay? Is it that he sees a lot of problems that he cannot stand? And why could Mo Salah move to a club that is struggling, just like my friends were saying? Does it make sense to go to, for example, Salah to go to Arsenal right now?
Let me tell you what happens. Most of these established players, the most talented players, the more respected and the most paid high, expensive players. You know, remember what happened with Ronaldo? He said that if the club management won't do what I suggest, it's either me or the coach. That is what is happening. You know, what are you seeing? What Messi is dictating in the club? Like I remember when that Paraguay player was getting out. This guy was in Liverpool. When he was going out, what did Messi say? He's not going anywhere. He's not going to Atletico Madrid. He has to stay here. So sometimes it depends on that's mostly what normally affects even coaches themselves, even management. Know that if somebody goes away, we are going to lose on something. You know, football is all about your talent. If you're the best, there is marketing issue, there is sponsor issues. You know, there's so many things that can affect a club if a player is leaving. So, and the club has to do always in order to make sure that that person is inside the club. Now, let me finish with one comment about Liverpool. My brother, in Liverpool fans, you should know that there is one thing you have in a league. You should get prepared of some factors when a league starts. One, you can do well or you can not do the best because we have factors to consider when you're doing when you're playing all these matches. For example, we should know that we have suspensions, we have red cards, we have the suspension through red cards, we have illness, we have maybe any other problem that can come in. So a player might be, it doesn't matter that, it doesn't mean that a player will be there 100%. So those are things that you should consider, knowing that you are running a club that can affect your performance. So what I can only appreciate, Klopp, what he does is he utilizes every player he has to make that player has and remains with the focus of himself being in that club. So any player that, you remember what he did when he was playing, I don't know which year, when he was playing against Man City in Champions League. It was he was in Germany. Klopp was just in a goal outside the watching lane, but leaning to a post and laughing what the guys were doing to Man City. He was not coaching them; he was laughing. So he's a very smart guy. He knows what he does, and what he knows what he feeds the players and the expectation of the players. I think the morale he has to play, he gives players, and the way they play. Actually, there's such mutual respect and appreciation from the coach. The players themselves know. So when he's given a chance, I have what you need to do to make me a good player in Liverpool. I think that's what makes Liverpool move on.
Okay, thank you. Let me bring in my good friend Videlis. We are talking about Liverpool with all their, all their problems. We're talking about injuries to their key players, but still they've been able to rise to the top of the league. And we were just trying to figure out whether there is any team or what is working for them. Let me just put it that way. What is actually working for them? Because looking at their close opponents, there's no team right now that has the same injuries to their key players as Liverpool is. So what can you comment about
that? Thank you, Steve. First of all, I'm an Arsenal fan, and we won yesterday, and I'm very happy. I'm very excited about the game yesterday. The boys really pushed hard, and we saw young boys being given an opportunity to play, and is what fans have been asking Arteta to do for all this time. Now that the boys were given an opportunity yesterday, it really showed what they can be able to do. And we wish they continue that way for maybe even for the game on Tuesday and the days ahead. Going to the topic about Liverpool. Yes, Liverpool on my side, it has surprised me a little bit because with the injuries that they have, I was thinking that now they could be somewhere at number 5, number 6, maybe up to number 8 there.
Why are you that bad?
But surprisingly, they are topping the list at the moment. And they usually say that if you want to win the league, it's not the first players, the first 11 who wins the league for you. It's the bench, the quality of the bench that you have, and also the quality of the coach. So I think, yes, Liverpool have serious injuries to the top players, but the boys in the bench have been able to come in handy to do what the big boys have been doing. And at the moment, if they win today, they'll be how many points clear? Like 4 or 5 points.
They will be on 30. They are on 30.
They are 31, I think, at the moment.
Yeah, they
so
will be
if
at
they
34.
win, they'll go to 34. So they'll be like 5 points clear.
So
that shows you that this team is very serious about winning the league again. They might make a double this season, according to me. Although I'm not a Liverpool fan, but I'm seeing them. If during this turbulent time they have been able to hold on at the top, you can imagine what will happen when the injured players come. So I'm seeing them, if they may not win, they'll give a very high, maybe number 1, 2 at worst. So that's what I can comment about Liverpool.
Okay, fair enough. Let's move to Manchester City. Like you all know, everybody, including myself, actually the very first video I did, I touted Manchester City to go to go back to their winning ways, maybe win the league this season. But we have seen a mixed results from Manchester City. Manchester City is not winning convincingly as we know them to be, and they have lost games. They have, of course, they have won games, but the problem is that they are not scoring enough, just like their counterparts, Liverpool, they are doing. And I'm looking at a situation where now, of course, they are building momentum, but their 3 upcoming games will be so key to them. They'll be able to meet now real opponents on their way. If they win these matches, and then we can say now Manchester City is they are serious contenders. Of course, they are charged. Of course, they are beginning to gather steam. But again, there are a lot of loopholes. The lack of a finisher at Manchester City. How costly is that? Let me start with George this time around.
My brother, and the Premier League right now, even in Gary is smiling, let me tell you, depending on where in December the matches you have played, there is no surety in the second leg. Some teams are not playing in the Champions League. They have all the time to rest and prepare. People have fixtures to do them on the UEFA Champions, one of the worst, especially when you meet a team from England, from Italy. They make sure they open your knees so that you added some grease so that you can oil it well, because it's a tiresome kind of level we are going to. Man City has a problem. They used to suffer from inferiority complex on how good they are, and right now they are getting surprised. In fact, their game, if you watch their game right now, everybody can agree with me, it's not the Man City we used to know, because how they drew with Man U, I don't know, God knows, because I know that they are very good. From the time they lost Dalva Silva, I think that guy was a very creative midfielder who could do anything, and I think he was always somebody who could create chances. Gudodin, somebody, I don't know, he's a good player also, but at the moment, I don't know what's going on. The coach has also now started mixing players, especially from the midfield onwards. And then since Otamendi went to, there's also a very big problem. They're also not very consistent in terms of they are playing. You know, Aguero also is not the person who used to play full matches nowadays. Man City, I think, is right at the moment is not playing the game that we know. They are very average for them. If you ask me, they're just playing average football.
Is it a sinking ship?
No. They are going to fight on, but they'll be somewhere there. They'll be somewhere there. They'll be somewhere there. They will not be. Could be maybe top 6, top 8, top 6, top 8, or top 5, maybe because. My brother, you have Aston Villa, we have Southampton, we have Tottenham, we have Liverpool, we have Manchester, we have Chelsea. Arsenal, for now, let's comment in January, mid-January.
Okay.
Can I come in?
Yes, go on, Innocent.
Huh? You see, I've been following keenly Manchester City in the past 5 matches. Actually, they are picking the momentum, even though they don't win on a higher margin. Sometimes they agree 2-1, 2-0. Those guys, I don't see a reason why they can't finish top 2. And in terms of striking, Jesus Navas is not that player like Aguero. Aguero, yes, is back, but he has been doing it like in the past 5 seasons. But at the moment, this guy has been befooled by injuries. He's not that sharp But what Man City can do at the moment is to capitalize from their attacking midfielders. We expect the likes of Mahrez to come in and score goals. We expect the likes of Torres. I think he scored yesterday, right? Yeah. So what is happening is that I have a bad their striking posterity is at the moment. But when you look at their midfield and the defense, actually, they're a bit organized. Actually, in the past 5 matches, those guys have conceded the least number of goals. What Man City needs is not, they're not at their good form at the moment to score more goals, but they need that one goal, 2-1, to keep pushing. At the end of the day, we may look that their performance is a bit nervy, like these top teams that actually, they are shocking us. The likes of Southampton, the likes of Aston Villa, West Ham, even Leicester is shocking us. So, but at the end of the day, you look at, do they have the stamina like Man City? You know, these are actually guys who've been there. Remember, in the past 3 seasons, it has been actually a muscle between Manchester City and Liverpool. I remember there is that season where we lost the Premier League via point. Last season, they came so close also. This time, what Manchester City actually, they may look like a sinking ship, but they're quiet. Pep Guardiola knows that my camp is not doing very well, but those guys are grinding results. Believe you me, if Manchester City win in the next 4 games, of which I don't see them losing anyway, those guys will find their slot to the top 4. And immediately Manchester City stamps their slot for top 4. They are going for the top. So to me, what I could say is that they don't look good at the moment, the way they are playing, but they are grinding results. They have lost previously, but it's the Premier League where you can lose again. Yes.
Can I ask him a question?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Ngare, when you play at the moment, when you talk of they're doing well, they have a return match between Manchester United, Liverpool, Everton, Tottenham, Chelsea. Those are how many points? 15.
For them. Can I tell you the games they'll win?
Those are the things that you can always count on.
Can 15. I tell you the wins they'll get?
Those are the 15 points that you know they are aside. Just a minute. Those are 15 points that are aside that you should beat so that you can know your status.
Yes.
Then you calculate where you'll be. And then put on an add-on, the one that will make you draw, the one that will make you lose, like circumstantially. No.
The good thing
that you should consider.
The good thing is these teams, Manchester United, Everton, Liverpool, these are top teams facing also another top team. And I can tell you for free, there is no way Manchester City can lose against Manchester United. If you have Aguero knows, I don't know how he does it, because he keeps scoring against you guys. Wait.
Jesus Christ.
Wait.
Jesus Christ. Manchester United, Man City, those boys, at the moment, this season, I would agree with you. Last season, like this season, remember Man U is a team you can hardly beat twice. Hardly beat twice. You can agree, this has been a lesson since before. You can beat it once, but the second time, it's either you draw again or they beat you. Go to history and see.
And again, I don't see Everton beating again Manchester City. I don't see that happening, because the tenacity and Arsenal, I've told you, is a team that is for shocks. Arsenal may decide to lose the next 2 games and beat Man City. So Arsenal, I don't know this team the way it is. So for me, Arsenal and Man City, the best result Man City can have there is a draw.
All right, let me bring you on. Your thoughts, please. Videlis.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said somebody else. Manchester City, when you look at Arsenal, at the beginning of the season, they started very well, and end of last season and the beginning of the season, the FA and the Community Shield. This is because Aubameyang was at his highest point. He was scoring goals. And now Arsenal has been suffering because the same striker, our number one striker, has not been scoring goals. So I want to liken the same scenario to Manchester City. Their top striker is out of form, as I can put it at the moment. And the biggest challenge, I think, according to me, which they have, and I agree with, is that they have a problem in striking. But the rest of the departments are well, they are good. Defensive-wise, they are doing very well. And now, what the midfielders to do is to come in now that they are aware that their strikers are not at the best form at the moment. They need to step in and so that they can also score goals and put their club to a level which they do, which it deserves. Going back to where Man City might finish on the table, right now, as you can see, there's a very narrow point difference between the teams from number 2 to I think number 10 there. When you win one game, you may go from number 5 to number 2 to number 3. So it's very tight. The competition is very tight. But again, I want to agree with Ngare that this is Man City. And I want to give them my benefit of doubt and say that I still believe they're capable of finishing at either number 3, number 2, at worst, number 4. Right now, somebody can argue that what about Everton? At the moment, Everton is number 2. Somebody said Aston Villa, Tottenham. You see, these teams, when I look at Everton, I may judge them come February. But at the moment, I know when they face the big teams, and when I say big teams, in this case, I know we all understand the big teams in England. I don't think they're going to beat Man City the second leg. I doubt if they're going to beat Arsenal the second round. So I think they're after temporarily occupying space for the big boys to come. So I want to give Man City, they may finish at number 2 or number 3. What?
Okay, fair enough. So
now, Mr. Abi, let me talk on one thing. If I want to read Ngare, what the fixture is saying, on Wednesday we are playing them. From there they go to Birmingham on FA Cup. You don't know what they might come in with. Then on 13th they are with Brighton City. That's January.
Home
13th.
or away?
They'll be with Brighton. They'll be home. They'll be home with Crystal Palace. That will be on 17th of January.
Yes. Those are Premier League games, right?
Yeah, Premier League
Those
is Everton.
Yes.
Tomorrow is Everton.
Yes.
Then from there on Sunday, on 3rd of January is Man City.
Yes.
Then we meet at Emirates Cup semi-finals on Wednesday on 6th of January.
Okay.
And then they have, okay, if you go down, they'll meet Crystal Palace on 17th of January. They have a match on 10th, 13th, 17th, that's on January, 26th of January. They have Sheffield on 30th of January. My brother, they have Liverpool on 6th of February.
So when you look at...
they have Tottenham on 13th of February. You have not counted issues on these other games in terms of Champions League. They have Arsenal on 20th of February.
Now, when you look at the next 5 EPL games for Manchester City,
Mm.
Those are 15 points. For me, I give them the least 12 points they are going to amass.
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Can I bet with you?
I agree with you.
Because the only game there that Man City is scared of is the game against, I don't know, we are not even in the next 5. Are we within the 5 games? Is Liverpool captured there among the 5 games?
No.
So then I don't see why. And the good thing, can I tell you why I'm so happy about that fixture? The teams like Spurs, the teams like Tottenham, the teams like Manchester that are there that are trying to bring a lot of jam. Manchester City will harvest points and I'll keep winning. The gap goes high. I'll maintain the gap of those around 10 points.
I'll bet with you, not very sure, but I'm adamant it might get out of 15 points, they'll have 5 points. Let's compare notes.
Who is beating them? Who is beating them?
Don't mind, they'll harvest 5 points. Out of 15.
Whom are they losing to?
Who have been they losing to? Just a minute, Ngare, who have been they losing to?
Give me the first game they are playing, Brighton, right?
Yeah.
Those are 3 points. Another team.
That's a win. That's a clean win for them.
Alone, because of time. Just a minute, because of time, let's not go that, because I want us to be short and get
Let's finish up this thing. Tottenham Hotspur. Of course, they started very, very, very well. And Jose Mourhino was started to be that manager that was everybody was saying Mourhino is here to win things, turning the tides there at Tottenham Hotspur. But now
a special one.
Yeah, the special one. And for sure, I was even scared. I was scared that Tottenham are going to be because they looked at a very, very different team altogether. But again, 2 weeks ago, no, prior to like 3 weeks ago, Tottenham were leading in the Premier League, on the Premier League table. Right now, they are number 8.
And they're still going down.
What are the odds for Tottenham making it maybe winning the Premier League this season? Just 30 seconds each. Let me start from George. Premier League title for Tottenham. They have a good manager, they have good players. Why can't they win?
Mourhino last season, he said that if I was with Tottenham, I could win the league and I could be number 1. So he has tested. Mourhino is a man who who normally always scares people with issues. Determination. Let me tell you, my brother, as we have said, Tottenham will not win this league. They can be a good number in the league. They can qualify for champions, maybe. But as we go on right now, you see what they have been, how they have lost, and what is going on. Mourhino has given his players a lot of pressure to perform. He has one guy, I don't remember his name, who is doing midfield. The guy is a game spoiler. He doesn't know play the football. He is very rough. You will complain. That's what Mourhino likes. I've spoken to somebody who played in
Hojbag.
Yeah. That guy, I happened to speak to Mariga. Mariga was once a player to Mourhino. And Mourhino has one antic. He tells you that when you come in second half as a substitute, any balls coming from the other side, you should make sure you touch it, especially when you're ahead. Either you give it out, come down. You better have a penalty, a red card, and give us being scored a goal. Anything can happen. So Mourhino is going to use crook and he meant issues to make sure that he's at the top there. Players have pressure. Just look at them, Keane, Son, how they play that football. If they don't make it, you see how they are, because they know what will follow them, the information they will have from Mourhino. Mourhino will always torture you and make sure that you give out the results that he wants. He's not somebody who is so simple you smoothly go with in terms of, you see, like they has put Adele, the player. Mourhino can make you somebody, and Mourhino can torture you to do what you didn't expect to do. So if you see how Tottenham are playing, they are playing with a lot of pressure. So they have a lot of pressure to perform. Not a way that let's do it, we can always make it. So Mourhino is somebody that is a Mr. Right. Mr. Perfect. So Tottenham are really uphill to climb, and if they don't make it, also you'll see in the long run. I don't condemn them, but they might make it the champions, but they really have a big problem in terms of consistency in their playing and getting results. Because even the team you're playing also needs results. Who told you also need to win alone? So, like I said, if you take Manchester to Gor Mahia in Kenya, Gor Mahia might win. You saw what Everton, whatever kind of keys they took there, what happened to Mathare. So every team, a good team plays with a weaker team, especially when they play. You see the result, what happens. Bring a team from champions down there and bring it to Premier League. You'll see what happens. So Mourhino want to make the boys come as senior most in terms of every game and feel that others should always come like underdogs. It's not like that in soccer.
All right.
The outcome is what matters.
So
let me go to videos before I come to you, Innocent.
All right.
Okay. Tottenham, they lack consistency. And because of that, I see them finishing at best number 5. They might not make it even for Champions League. The problem when you are playing under pressure, and unfortunately, maybe you don't perform in some specific game or in a certain game, and the coach wants you to win the league, there could be some kind of conflict because the coach expects you to perform this way, and maybe you had a bad day in office, the results did not come. We all of us know Mourhino. He is a man who can put a lot of pressure. He talks recklessly. So I think with that kind of notion that he wants to win the league and the pressure is giving the players, that's what is going to cost him even getting a Champions League spot. So I really don't see Mourhino finishing even at top 4. I highly doubt that consistency. Yes, they are very good players, but sometimes the inconsistency in play will cause them under pressure, as my friend said that.
Okay. Innocent.
It is interesting, but it's obvious that Tottenham is not an EPL champion. So what I can give them, if we were to give the odds, them chances of winning the Premier League is 2-10. And like I can give Liverpool 7-10, I can give Chelsea like 4-10, and also I can give Man City like 5-10. So the things that why I don't Manchester, I can give them 3-10, and there is a reason why 3-10.
Arsenal, my friend, you have not given Arsenal. Rank Arsenal also.
Arsenal maybe 1-10, I think.
Liverpool.
So Liverpool is 7-10. 7-10. So it is my time. So let me finish. There are things why I don't see Tottenham winning the Premier League. One is that their consistency, what Vitalis indicated, and two, the kind of play they're giving. Mourhino is the one guy who plays defensive to frustrate these top teams. What if, for instance, we have these bottom teams who are not attacking? Is he able to unlock the defenses? And at the moment, Tottenham is very dependent to Kane and Son. If they lose one of them, are they able to push on with that? Believe you me, if Son goes for injury, Tottenham cannot even finish top 10. It is becoming difficult. And nowadays, you see the kind of defenders in the Premier League. They have mastered how Kane plays. He hardly scores. So these are some of the things we also need to look at. And also, if today Tottenham has injuries like other teams, are they able to have that intensity? And is Tottenham the kind of a team that plays to frustrate other teams, not looking at the result? Mourhino says that as we look for the next team, like he was telling Klopp that actually the best team lost. And when I was looking at that game, The guy had a possession of 25%. The guy was not even attacking. So look at those kind of scenarios. So for me, Tottenham is not a Premier League champion material. Maybe a top 4, but it will be very difficult for them even to topple Manchester United for the top 4. So we can leave it there at the moment. So I give them a very little odd. Actually, it is, to me, for them to win it is at 3 to 10.
3 to 10. Fair enough. So, guys, thanks for your time. But before I let you go, just to to juggle with your mind, give me your expectation, the teams that will make the top 4 in the English Premier League come the end of the season. 1, 2, 3, 4. Starting from Ogoi. 1, 2, 3, 4. No explanation, just mention as we move.
Manchester United, Liverpool.
Give numbers.
Everton.
Say number 1.
Number 1.
3.
Let me now.
Gary, when I say a team, I mean 1 or 2. When I say twice, it means that 2 is number 2. Nothing. Gary, which class do you go to? Gary, did you go to? Gary, did you go to school or you passed through school?
I passed through school.
My friend. He's damaging the head. The head is damaged.
Okay, you can come up again.
Number one, I'm talking of
Manchester United.
Manchester United. Number 2, I talk of Everton. Number 3, Liverpool. Number 4, Chelsea, Man City. Chelsea, Man City.
Okay, fair enough. Innocent.
Number 1, Liverpool.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, Manchester City.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3, Manchester United.
Mm-hmm.
Number 4,
Mm-hmm.
Leicester.
Let's move to Videlis.
Number 1, I'll go with Liverpool.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, Manchester City.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3, I'll go with Chelsea.
Mm-hmm.
And number 4, I finished with Manchester United.
Okay,
Wow.
that's fair enough. For me, I don't know what to say because you have said it all. I think if the trend continues, I am a very, very open-minded football
Did you
fan.
write that down? Did you write that down? We need to change notes in May.
No, the record is here. We can always refer.
Please. So you
George,
put the record. Yes.
George.
I think.
Yeah.
And please, I bet with Gary that out of 5 matches, 15 points, Man City will have 5 points. Just write that one down.
That one I've written down.
Gary, when I will meet, I'll owe you a drink if you beat me on that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, listen, you guys,
Yeah.
I'm really grateful for making time for this show, and I know I know some of you is right now it's late. It's actually around, is it 8 or 9 there? So grateful for your time, your support all through, and I hope to see you soon. Have the best of the festivities, and say hi to your families.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
You
See you
two
next
guys
time.
have a new year, good year, and take care.
All right, thanks.
Bye.
All right.